What happens when Bart gets trapped in the well? Bart throws his pager into the well and talks on the microphone. People think there's a child in the well and are trying to figure out what to do, but no officers can get in. However, Bart's name was on the pager. In order to destroy the evidence, while the officers were gone, Bart secretly tied a rope to a stake to support himself into the well. When the officers returned, they untied the rope. Bart fell into the well, and his feet were crushed by a rock. He shouted for the police. The police heard it was Bart's prank. They all left without helping him. The police told his family about Bart's prank, so Homer came to bring Bart a toy. Homer is enraged by Bart's words and tries to go down and hit Bart but is stopped. Marge seeks the sheriff's help but is denied it. Bart's misdeeds are being shown on the news. Even the children were making rumors about Bart. Bart's parents had to bring Bart clothes. Bart admits his mistake and begins to repent. Seeing the boy like this, Homer decides to save Bart on his own. Willie watched the scene and took out his tools to release his muscles, joining in to help. Many of the residents came to help. They kept digging down. Finally, a hole was pried in the well. Bart is freed and hugs his parents. From then on, the well was marked with a sign. How did Homer become an ambulance driver? Homer bought a lot of food and put it on his lap. Then he lowered the back of his seat and ate while reclining as he drove down the road. The sauce from the food sprayed on the front view mirror. Homer uses his watch to reflect the road to see what's going on. He rocked the car around and was about to drive into a nuclear power plant. At that moment, the brakes jammed. He crashes through the barricade and into Burns' office, injuring Burns' partner. Homer was dragged and thrown out of the plant by security, along with his car. Homer had to find a new job. His new job is as a car salesman. However, his customers were so shocked by the look on his face that they chose to leave. Homer tried to lighten the mood by turning on an electric balloon, but it flew away. He can only swing himself to imitate the balloon. Homer sees the old ambulance next to him. The more he looked at it, the more he liked it, and the siren on the roof attracted him even more. So Homer bought it. He showed it to his family, and took out a syringe and a defibrillator, and tested them on his own body. He started working with the car. His first customer was the comic book guy. He wiggled his ass in the car wash at home. Then he drove off and he picked up his second customer. He really liked the work it did. Do you know who rescued Homer from the fire? Homer was asleep on the couch. A cigarette fell and burned a magazine. The fire spread to the plug wires. It quickly ignited the appliances in the house. There was an explosion in the basement. Even that didn't bother Homer, who was sleeping. The dog saw Homer in the flames. He ran into the fire and bit into his pocket. He grabbed the food out of his pocket and ran out the door. The fire burned off 2 of Homer's hairs. He woke up choking on the fire. He saw the fire in front of him. He sang a song and then fainted. Apu used his binoculars to see Simpson's house on fire. He immediately drove his fire truck to put out the fire, but he was blocked by a duckling. Flanders arrived at the critical moment. He kicked down the door and quickly picked up the fat Homer. Suddenly, a fallen log blocked the exit. He plunged into the burning floor. He was about to fall into the fire. Flanders picked up Homer and carried him upstairs. He threw the mattress out the window. He slammed Homer into the mattress. Homer bounces off the mattress and into the fire. Flanders goes into the fire the same way. He dragged Homer out. Homer comes to his senses and realizes it was Flanders who saved him. He couldn't believe it. Suddenly the fire spread to Flanders' house. The next moment, it was extinguished by rain, and a rainbow appeared.